Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's been a minute. We do one of these once a month, I feel.
Yeah, once
That's
a
a
month.
good schedule.
Yeah. Do you hear the vacuum in the background, by the way?
No.
Great.
I feel like you always have one of those going.
Yeah, either it's the
Either virtual or like for real.
a YouTube video or my husband actually vacuuming.
And where's Tomas? Helping him vacuum?
I'm watching him in his office.
Guys, I think that's actually so funny. And so
Yeah,
you
my
know
son
those,
has like a little office now.
yeah. We know those it's like a play, it's like it's not a bouncer or it's like a seat in kind of console thing where they sit and it's like an activity center, right? And
Mhm.
so babies like can work on their like core strength and put their feet on the ground. And so when I had one for my daughter, we used to call it the office. And then now Tommy has one, and we're like,
Yeah.
he's in his office. He has a 9 to 5, and so he's there like fucking
Yeah, he's like
moving
doing
around,
taxes there.
and he spins in it, right?
Yeah, he spins in it. You know what's crazy? I forgot to tell you. His when I took him for the eval at the PT, they told me not to have him in there anymore.
Oh my god!
I know. But sometimes like we use it, we put him in there. He loves it. He loves it. But just
And
like
it's
for like a quick,
yeah,
yeah.
a
But they
quick
said if you want him to crawl because okay, backstory, guys.
yeah. Let's go back.
So I've talked about in the last episode, I think, about comparison being the thief of joy and all of that, and how I was worried because my son wasn't crawling. Um, he is 10 months now, and I recently took him to get evaluated at early steps actually first, and they denied him. I just needed some peace of mind that I wasn't crazy and I wasn't being like dramatic. So once they denied me there, they said, well, just because we're denying doesn't mean that you can't seek private therapy outside of early steps. So on the way home, that's what I did. I called a physical therapy center by my house. Um, that has been recommended to me by employees that work there. Learners that I've worked with in the past have gone there for speech. So I called on the way home, made the appointment, and scheduled it for a week from that day, I think. And sure enough, they accepted him and he's going to be starting soon. I was talking to Mel about the whole process. So like I said, he wasn't crawling. He wasn't doing other things like grabbing onto things and standing up on his own, even like laying on his back and sitting up. He was struggling. He would get like halfway and he would fall back. So he would require a lot of like adult, you know, I guess attention or just rely on us. And his independent play just wasn't a thing. And I saw that he was frustrated. So I wanted to seek some help for him. So that's what I did. And the assessment or the eval, whatever, was kind of like traumatizing in a way because I had never seen him like so frustrated because obviously they're doing what they have to do. So they have to like measure how many degrees his head can turn to one side, to the other, his arms, his legs. They're literally from top to bottom evaluating every part of his body to see what they need to work on or, what could help, what's not helping, and then give me tips to do at home as
Which
well.
I didn't realize it was so extensive. Like
Hmm.
the so specific and detailed, like from what you
Yeah,
told me.
for physical, because at early steps it was completely different. It was
Yeah.
just they were just watching to see if he like rolled over. No, this one they were like full on like moving his neck all the way to the
Yeah.
side. And there was a physical. So I signed some paperwork beforehand and it said that if I felt comfortable with having a PT student in the room, to sign off. And I was like, absolutely, I totally encourage education and like, whatever. It wasn't a big thing.
Mm.
However, I didn't realize that the PT student was a male and he would be performing the exam. I didn't have a problem with him being a male or anything, but he was obviously way less experienced than the teacher, the physical therapist herself. So I was like kind of tweaking, and I'm not really one
You're
to,
not a tweaker.
yeah, and I'm not one to speak out and be like, hey, listen, I don't feel comfortable or like, oh, like I just like, I'm like, I also don't want to be like one of those parents that are just like, oh, don't like breathe like that next to my kid or don't like do that. So I was just like in my head, like, do I say something? Do I not say something? Is this normal? Is it not? Because I've never seen this before.
Mhm.
So I think she, the teacher, or I don't
I
even know
guess
what.
like you show it with your body language maybe
Yeah,
like
I was just like, oh my God. And I was just kind of looking at her like,
because
tell me
obviously
nothing.
your baby wasn't calm, cool, collected.
Yeah,
He
he
was
wasn't,
screaming.
he wasn't responding well at all. Um, to any of it. I mean, like what
I
person
mean,
like
they're
sits
like grabbing
down
him.
and like, yeah. So I guess she kind of picked up on those cues, which was phenomenal. And she kind of like looked at me like, I got you, mama. And then she like was like, okay, I'm gonna take it from here. And she grabbed him and she did everything that he was
Yeah.
doing, just like in 200 speed. So I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, thank God, like it's over, whatever. And she was just talking so much and educating me so much. And I left like very overwhelmed, like feeling like a bunch of different feelings. But apart from that, I was telling Mel, like, damn, like I learned so much in this evaluation. Like, that makes like explaining things that I was like putting two and two together. For example, my son was born um like 5 to 6 weeks early. And apart from that, like he had torticollis like at 3 months. They were giving us like head exercises. um, I noticed that he had like sensory sensitivities specifically with his feet. He's okay with like clothes, but when it comes to sand, I love the beach, so we take him to the beach. He hates it. Grass, turf, does not like it. But as far as like clothing, he's fine. So she was talking about all of that stuff there. So she said that when a baby is born that many weeks early, they miss out on them developing that part of their nervous system. So what happens when the baby is in the womb, they develop top to bottom, and the feet are the last thing to get, I guess, developed, like their
Right.
sensory receptors, or I don't even know the correct terms, but they
Whatever it is.
mature,
Yeah.
yeah, but they mature top to bottom. So
Hmm.
areas like the face and upper body, hands, those just become responsive earlier. So I I guess that's where the guilt came in. I was like, damn, like because my stupid ass preeclampsia, like he had to come out early, so he didn't have that time to push his feet up against like the womb and like feel all that stuff. And then all of a sudden he came out into the like, world and experienced a bunch of different textures. So he becomes like, I guess, like more sensitive than the average or full term baby.
He had to learn
So
it outside, and so.
yeah, so
Mhm.
he went from like being like so tightly curled up to experiencing air, different
Mhm.
temperatures, different clothing,
By the way,
everything.
your son is an Aries. So if anyone's watching and knows anything about like zodiac signs, like if you think you're getting a Taurus or what is it, right before like a Pisces or whatever. I don't know if that's what's before,
Mm,
whatever it is.
mhm.
If it's an Aries, your baby will make sure of it. So I'm convinced
Yeah.
that he was just like, what? I'm no
Yeah, he's
Taurus.
like, what the heck? Yeah, so just the feet have like a lot of like sensory receptors, so it's gonna be normal that he is a little bit sensitive to other things. So she also talked about like the torticollis, the tightness in his neck, which is like, think about it, like if you slept bad and you woke up with like a little like a kink in
I
your neck.
actually have that right now.
Yeah, so does Sam. My husband has one too. Like think about like when you are going to be on your tummy or
I'm
you're
like,
going
oh
to
oh my
crawl,
god, yeah,
like
it does
yeah.
it.
So he has a, I don't want to say permanent because I don't know if it's like gonna go away, but up until now he's always had like a slight tilt to his left because it's so tight. So there was exercises that we used to do, which were like just pushing his head like this and then to the side. Um, but that was like when he was 3 to 4 months old. We were doing that until the pediatrician didn't really mention it again. Like he would see him and never said anything about it. So the pediatrician also never said anything about how that could affect his ability to crawl or like being on his stomach, how it could be so uncomfortable for a human being, which may delay him in that aspect
Like
during
like
like
motor
skills.
milestones. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so he's weak in those areas, and because he doesn't have a lot of, because as soon as you put him on his tummy, the kid will roll over. And like instead of crawling, he like just rolls and rolls to get
He's
to
been
like,
moving though. He's been like
yeah.
moving though.
Yeah, he has been, yeah, from like literally one day to the next,
Yeah.
just starting to like do more things and scooting more and
He's gonna
uh,
get to where he wants to go. Like at
yeah.
least he's gonna
Yeah,
like
and the boy is like taking steps.
yeah.
Like today I was on FaceTime with Sebas and he was holding my fingers, and he was taking little steps in his cage.
What?
You know, I call his cage.
His cage.
His
His
little playpen. I
playpen.
call it. I'm like, oh, he's in the cage. I'm like, put him in the cage. He'll be fine.
Put him in the office right after. So like, just
Yeah.
chill for a second.
Yeah, he goes from cage to office cage, whatever.
Oh my god.
So she, yeah, the PT was also saying how there are some kids who just go straight to walking and skip crawling.
Mhm.
However, it is not recommended because there are so many skills that they learn, and it's even linked to like early like literacy skills, like early
Right.
reading, crawling, and like safety awareness and all and balance and all those type of things. So I told her, I was like, listen, I don't want him to skip crawling. I'm here because I
Mhm.
want him to be able to do that. I want to be able to have him be independent when he plays and not rely on us and get so frustrated. I want to help him. And she's like, oh, it's so refreshing to hear that because there's some parents who are like, no, it's fine. Like, just let him walk. But I'm
Mhm.
like, no, I want
Which
him
you're
to be able to
not
do it.
letting him walk, but we're just practicing other
Right.
things too, just so that he
Yeah.
gets all of it.
So one of the reasons why she recommended not to have him in the office is because you're working on that skill while him being in there, even if it's for 10 minutes, 5 minutes. He's gaining so many muscles as far as standing and like that type of stuff, but he's losing that time that he could be on his stomach and learning how to crawl.
Hmm.
She even told me like some like if you have a baby who's not crawling, one exercise that she did tell me is so that when the baby's on their belly, a lot of the times their legs will be like this versus like this. So when a person is crawling, they're going like this, just back and forth. They don't have their legs out. So that's how my son is right now. So you're going to use a scarf and you tie their legs together so that they have no option to open
But
and all the only thing they can do is go like that.
yeah,
I haven't tied them, but I do just hold them together like slightly and he does like move a little. So I can't find we live in South Florida. I can't find a scarf anywhere. It's like in the attic probably. The PT also recommended him getting tested for a helmet. So that's like now on my radar. I made an appointment um coming up next week actually. Because there's a flat spot, a mild, very mild flat spot on the back of his head, like kind of like right here. Um, I thought getting a helmet was something that babies do like under 6 months, but I guess not. I guess it's not too
mhm.
late. And it's free. So if you guys are ever concerned about your baby having a flat head and maybe the pediatrician is saying one thing, but you feel in your gut, which I think it's so important to listen to what your gut says, you can always go to Cranial Technologies, give them a call. They have locations, I think, everywhere. Um, I'm not too sure, but and they do a completely free assessment. They give you the results. They take the picture. They do everything same day of. I think the lady on the phone told me it was an hour and a half. They put like a little sock on the baby's head. You stand behind them, you hold them, they take pictures, then they put a baby's um like a perfect shaped head next to your baby's head and they compare it. And then from there they decide what the next steps are and what the intervention will look like. So we'll see.
I
According
think
to
it's.
ChatGPT, he doesn't need a helmet. I put everything in there. I was like,
Are you
it's
serious?
very mild. Da, 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 da. They're like,
Yeah,
but if he needs it, hopefully it's for a month.
yeah. And he looks so cute.
I know he would like,
Cuter.
I will decorate it.
Yeah.
If only he was like, I don't know. I guess I could still like bedazzle it, even though he's a boy.
You can bedazzle.
Yeah, we'll just make it like boy
Absolutely.
colors.
Yeah, boy bedazzle blue.
Mel and I always joke about how I am the, but I never get this right. Like I always have it
The
in my
what?
brain. Like I'm a girl mom with a boy.
Oh yeah, this trips you out always.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But then me, it
You're a
like
girl
processing,
mom. You're a girl
girl
mom with a
mom with a
boy.
boy, and she's a boy mom.
that just
With
has a girl
both.
with both.
With both.
But no, I'm a boy mom.
Yeah.
But I also think I like lean into the girl side of things too. Like
Yeah, of course.
like it's just so much fun. Like the
Yeah.
girl stuff. But
Yeah.
but it's more natural not it's more natural for me to do the boy stuff. Like I
Hmm.
want
And
to
also,
take
you grew up with two brothers
yeah.
too. You grew up playing sports.
Like Matias, like I love tackling him. And Samantha's like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? I wanna tackle you. But Matias, like
Favorite
I
nails, mom.
yeah, we're into the nails. But yeah, I think it's also crazy how many resources you find along the way and you're like things that we didn't know. Like I didn't
Hmm.
like from just like listening to you and also like my own journey too. Like when my son was oh my gosh, I don't know, like a couple months. Obviously for me everything is very like extreme in my way of thinking and so I'm it's like a blessing and a curse to be in this field and also be a parent
Hmm.
also
Absolutely.
because you're so observant and analytical of every single thing and you're like okay well, that's happening
Yeah.
here so like
They're like one day
if
late of meeting a milestone, and you're like,
yeah or just like you just something sometimes just doesn't feel right and then you
hmm.
like overthink and then you're like wait, I'm just wasting time doing this I just have to go call someone and so I did early steps for my son and they're like girl like go somewhere else we did like the ENT because he never like rolled from the first type of roll, which is like from back to belly. He
Hmm.
just skipped that and never did that. And I was like, what do you mean? That's like the biggest, one of the first big like milestones, I guess, like for motor movement. Like a big, like a roll, you know, like it's like, oh, the first time they roll. He never did that. And so I was like, okay. So I had to just kind of like bite the bullet and be like, okay, let's go call early steps. And then we did like a sleep study. We went to the ENT and like I didn't know any of those things were even a thing. And so I can imagine like parents
Can you
that
talk a little bit about early steps?
yeah. So early, I believe it's a nationwide program. It's some in some states it's called Birth to Three, and it's for
It's
basically
government funded, right?
yes, government funded. And if in order to qualify, your child has to have either a diagnosis already or be in that process of finding a diagnosis. And so, if maybe you see some missed milestones or you have any behavioral concerns or even any health related concerns like torticollis or things like that, you can call someone or you have to look up your local agency over here in Central Florida where I am. It's USF, so by Tampa, but I believe you have I don't know if it's
I think so.
yeah, it's also it's a lot of universities that like are kind of like the main hub and so they have little places but first they'll call you and kind of ask you like this very you'll respond to a big kind of interview of like every single thing your child is doing or not doing and then from there you get a call and that call is kind of like a long call like okay so what are like let's talk about it and what are your concerns and this and that and so from there I guess you can go into an office and get seen by professionals and then what happened with you they'll determine like okay maybe there are some
Hmm.
things that he is getting like having some challenges with but he doesn't really qualify for the program and so from there we seek other support like which is what you did
Right.
but if that
And it
wasn't
is completely free. So if you
hmm
guys have any concerns about any type of like developmental concerns, if your child is under the age of 3, you
hmm
can call, or even sign up. I think there's like an intake form online,
yeah
or mention it to your pediatrician, and your pediatrician will kind of speed up that process by giving you a referral.
yeah
That referral will be sent immediately to early steps, and then they'll give you a call. So what I did is that I had submitted the form online like a few days before going to my son's 9-month checkup. And when I went to the checkup, they had me complete a form at the pediatrician's office saying if I had any concerns. And from there, I told them, I have a concern about this and this. Can I please have a referral
yeah
for these
I
steps?
think that's huge too. Like having a pediatrician
And
that
that
will
sped up the process.
listen. Yeah,
Yeah.
but not all pediatricians listen and it's
Yeah.
some obviously like I feel when you are shopping for a pediatrician and we talk about this often, having someone that is recognizing like what you are going to through like
Hmm.
they're seeing your child yes for their lifetime, not lifetime, but childhood life, but you're there
Mhm.
every single day, like seeing things, and maybe not, they're not seeing those things in like a 30-minute visit. And so having
Mhm.
a pediatrician that really understands like where you are coming from and is validating you is so important, because imagine like you're like feeling some type of way at home, gotta get to the pediatrician, then you get like reassured, and then you go back home, and then it's like, well, I'm back here, and so no one's really
Mhm.
listening to me. And so I had a really good pediatrician. I still do, it's the same one, but that listened to me when my son was going through that, and I was like, okay, he's like gave me a referral to speech to the ENT, and we did it like the next week. So
Mhm.
it really just does make a huge difference, because you're one backed by a professional. It's not like, oh, I'm just here willy nilly, like, and
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
it,
I definitely noticed that they sped the process up because they weren't reaching
yeah,
back out to me. But as soon as I left that doctor's office, they called me 24 hours later saying, "Hey, we received a referral." I'm like, "Did you receive also my intake form that I
yeah,
submitted without the referral?"
because I've
Uh,
been emailing you guys.
yeah, yeah. But we do talk all the time about shopping around for providers, but it's the same thing with your pediatrician. I went through quite a few pediatricians with my
Yeah.
son that I just didn't vibe with. Like either I didn't vibe with or I just felt like they were giving me a textbook answer because not to say that they're, oh, you're a young doctor, like you're not qualified,
Uh-huh.
but I just felt like I needed someone that was going to talk to me more so based off of experience versus like recalling a paragraph in a textbook.
Yeah.
Um, so I landed on this pediatrician and he thankfully gave me that referral. Um, so yeah, so if you guys definitely look into it's called Early Steps here in Florida. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's I
And it
guess
never
you said
hurts to just like check it out. Like even
and
if
it's completely free.
Mhm.
Completely free. They like assessed him in like five different categories as far as development. So like cognitive, social, communicative, like a bunch of things. And from there, they have you go back to, at least my experience, I went back to the waiting room. They reviewed it, completed like a form, and then brought my husband and I back in and went over the reasons as to why he didn't qualify for the program. I
Mhm.
guess you have to, I don't know, like the
Like have maybe like
criteria.
multiple categories where you have some
Yeah, where
challenges.
he was
And when
scoring
mhm. And when you
very
go to the
low.
pediatrician, if you have like an infant or a toddler, even at every like 3 months, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, things like that, you have then like a little, it's called, I don't know what it's called exactly, but an evaluation form you get usually before you go
Hmm.
into the room. And so there I would take those very seriously too, because those are like little red
Red
indicators,
flags.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, so we see some challenges here, and maybe those are things that you won't even notice, right? Like, oh, are they able to get an object from one hand and pass
Switch it
it
to
to
the
the
other.
other? Like, those are things that are so maybe not on everyone's mind all the time. And so
Hmm.
reading that, it's kind of like, oh, is that something that he or she is not doing right now? And so maybe it's like a light bulb in your mind too. So if you get those, which I know that most offices do that, it's kind of like a good indicator of like where your child is at, and a good like for yourself too, like, oh, we should work on this more or whatever.
Hmm.
That reminds me of
By the
my,
way, this is also for speech. I just had to get that out there.
oh yeah,
So
speech,
this is not
OT.
just like
Mhm.
PT and OT and like we're because I know we were talking about like rolling over and the not crawling and all that. But if your child is not talking and you and your pediatrician is maybe telling you just wait, everyone talks at, which is true. Everybody talks. No one. It's not like every child on this earth talked at exactly this many months or this many years. But if you just have that feeling like okay, well, no, I don't want to just wait.
Mhm.
You can definitely call early
It's
step.
right. It's better to have that support early on, and maybe you don't need it, than to
And also
miss
just a peace
out.
of mind.
Yeah, than to not have any, and you're like, okay, yeah, because I know that peace of mind piece is like you don't sleep
There's nothing
literally.
better. There's
Yeah.
nothing better.
But when you were talking about having like looking for pediatricians, I remember the first newborn visit. You know how sometimes the pediatricians rotate in like one office? It was one of those days for me. And so I had another pediatrician, and we were telling her like, oh no, he has a lot of like gas, and like he's just like vomiting all the time. It's a newborn. He's like a week old. Like it's
Mhm.
he's vomiting, and like with the milk, and like what's happening. And she was like, oh no, it's that he's hungry. And it was like, what do you mean he's hungry? Karina, she gave him Matias. It was like I don't know how you remind me. A newborn eats like 2 ounces or 1.5, right? Something
Something
like that. Like
like
it's not
newborn, it's like
a week.
ml.
He's a week. Yeah, he's a week.
Yeah. It's
Matias
not
was
even.
eating no, Matias was eating like an ounce and a half at that
Hmm.
point. Like the boy
Hmm.
can eat. So we were telling her, no, like this boy can eat. Like trust me, like we pump and then we just fill it up to 3 because I was lucky enough to just be an oversupplier and I was like, I'm not gonna save this milk. It's already contaminated. Just like give him the 3 ounces. Just
Yeah.
leave it there, just in case he wants more, right? Whatever he wants a little more. Like
Hmm.
what am I gonna do? Say no to a baby?
Yeah.
So
No.
no, you want to
No more milk for
tell
you.
it.
That's just tomorrow.
Yeah. So then we just filled it up to 3 or something like that. And then she was like, no, es que este niño tiene hambre. Like he's hungry. Like, what do you mean? Bro, he was in her arms. Look. Bro, she downed it. Like, had him drink it. Like, another ounce, right?
A pediatrician?
Yes.
I can't even imagine my doctor doing that.
And I'm like this. And David and I are like, David doesn't talk. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
like speak up.
Yeah.
And this moment I was like so in shock that I I didn't say anything because I was like, wait, like this is happening right now, and it was so quick. Like newborns just like like, and it's a
Yeah.
bottle, so it's not like he's like working hard for it. He's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
drinking it, and he really drank 1 extra ounce after he had just eaten like an ounce. 2 ounces in a baby's stomach is a lot. Like
Yeah.
he's a newborn,
Yeah.
and bro, literally, I was like, oh god. So I grabbed him, and she was like, yeah, burp him. Bro, he projectile vomited on her. And I was like, that's what you fucking get.
Yeah.
But I was just like, no, like, we've never given him an extra ounce. Like, she's like, that's why he's fussy, this and that. So then I told David and she left, and we were like, we're never seeing
Going
this
back.
provider again. Like, this provider and this, I think she's no longer there. Who knows how many other babies she overfed, you know?
For real.
It's like that, also that Hispanic culture too, like no, este niño tiene hambre, like this and that, which like I'm Hispanic myself, like I maybe you hear like put socks on the baby all the time. I used to always hear that, like when
Yeah.
songs, it's hot outside, like doesn't need socks,
Yeah. Yeah.
his
You're
feet are
gonna get
cold,
sick.
his feet
You're
are
gonna get sick.
yeah, like his feet are cold, they don't know how to regulate their temperature, their bodies aren't made for that yet, like they,
And not through their feet.
yeah, like what the
Yeah.
feet, and then it's ponle un gorrito. Mama, I'm sweating like balls right now. Like, what do you mean ponle un gorrito? So again, it's that like older Hispanic kind of mentality that also in my family too. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, never again. And so we never saw that woman again. And we were like, let's just never go back there. And now we
Yeah.
have a better time. But important to always speak up. Important to always speak up. And even if you don't speak up in the moment, speak up after. Because you're gonna leave feeling like, "Fuck, I should have said this. I could have said this in this way. I could have told
No, I know.
someone
And then you
else."
get in the shower and then you like,
And you like replay it. You're like,
yeah,
well, what are you doing?
yeah, you perform
You
like what
yeah.
should have happened.
A whole
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, don't perform it,
Yeah.
just like improv, and so
Yeah.
I've not that I've gotten really good at it, but I feel like I'm quicker to react in moments because I already have like a little bit of confidence that I've learned that it's happened before, that I advocate for my child, and it can be uncomfortable, like I'm not gonna lie, like it's not fun, like, I'm not there like having fun, but I know that future me is thankful because then I will just loop it and overthink it in my mind. Like, why didn't I say something? Like, my mom would have said something, like,
Yeah.
like, why am I a bad mom? Why am I scared to talk to someone? So little things like that you after the fact feel, and then you're like, well, I can just like bite the bullet and do it right now. And just, if it goes good, it goes good. And if it goes bad, I still tried. Like, I still did it and I felt good about it, like, and you don't have to be rude. You can just like, just say things. And so there, I didn't. And so I felt like shit about it. And you feel guilty, like, damn, like, I'm supposed to be their protector. Why didn't I protect in the moment, like, against anyone, right? Like, I always say, and you and I say this all the time, like, I would do anything, like, diabolical things, like, to protect anyone.
For your
like,
kids or mine.
yeah, like, I would,
Like,
without a doubt. And so why is speaking up for them and sometimes such a barrier? Because it's uncomfortable.
It's hard. It's really hard. It's
It's
hard for
hard.
me. Yeah, it's hard
Hmm.
for me. I haven't really had to, or like had a moment where I really needed to. I mean, he's only 10 months.
Yet.
There's only
Yeah.
so many
Yet.
places that we've
Yet.
gone to
Yeah.
that I've had to. Um, I would like to say that I am sure that I would if needed
I
be.
no, but I also think like it's his age. Like right now, there you
Yeah.
don't. He doesn't really interact with a lot of other kids in a way that you have to like.
Mhm.
Yo, they're like hitting him or like bullying him or
Yeah.
like why is this?
No,
You know?
he's one to react.
No, he's a. If anything, you're like on the other
If
side of
anything, he
things.
speaks up for me. Like,
He's the
he's
one
like,
like
don't
you're like
try me.
holding him
Don't
back. Like this baby's crazy. Like don't mess
like
with
when he
this
ripped
baby.
the bow off the little girl.
Please say that story. That's so funny.
We go to the baby and me classes. I talked about that last time. And there was a little girl who crawled in front of him and just sat. She had like a cute little bow, like the bow here and then like the headband. And my son was playing with some toys, and she saw the toy and she's like, "I want that." So she took it from him, and she took it, and then he said, "Bet, I'm gonna take your bow," and he snatched it like right off her head, and she was just like,
Bro,
I've
and
never seen him react so fast.
to
And
snatch a bow though, like the bow is on this child's cranium. Like so
he
you have
reached
to like
over and he was like,
yeah.
ah. But he literally looked at her like, "You're gonna take the toy? All right, no problem.
Yeah.
I'll take your fucking bow off your head." He took it off. Luckily, the mom was super cool. She was like, "That's what you get. Don't take his toy."
Yeah. I like moms
And
like that. I like
yeah,
moms
me
like that.
too.
I'm that mom. Like I
I
love a nat.
apologized. I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, don't
You but
worry.
you apologize
Hágale."
like as a courtesy. Not like as like
Yeah.
you're really sorry. Like
That's a
I'm
what?
a courtesy.
A courtesy. Courtesy. I think that is a courtesy.
It's
What the
it's
hell?
spelled like that. Courtesy. It's
Yeah,
not
I
spelled.
guess it is. Courtesy.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
I'm
No, it's
adding
courtesy.
shit don't add up in here though.
Oh my
Well,
God.
as a courtesy,
Yeah.
but I you don't
No,
really mean that apology. Like I'm
no, of
so
course not.
I'm
As he should
glad.
have.
Like I'm gonna rip your bow off the mom's head.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, the mom was
That's
cool though.
yeah. I love a
Shout
natural
out to that mom.
consequence. I love a natural consequence. If I'm at the library, just let
Yeah.
them. You know, like obviously be mindful of like where you are and like
Yeah, yeah, of
they're
course,
not
of
like
course.
in the adult section. They're literally in the kids area.
Yeah.
But if they're like not arguing with someone, but they're like dealing with a toy situation that they want, I'm not jumping in. I'm watching, but I'm not. If they're obviously my kids are older, they're 4 and 3. How old
It
are they?
makes it sound like they're like 13.
They're old as hell. They're 14 and the other one's 21, basically. They're 4 and 3, and so when toddlers fight, man, you just gotta like just let them hash it out. Sometimes it's not gonna be
Yeah.
like you're not gonna be there all the time. How realistic is that? So let the natural
Yeah.
consequence happen. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
and you notice that a lot with only children when they go out and they have to share toys.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, at home, we have access to all the toys all the time. And there's really no, not that
No
sharing is
need.
mandatory, but
Yeah, no
it's something
need.
that we have to practice, right? And yeah, there's no need. We have
Which is
babies.
great to practice if you're a parent of an only child. Practice taking
Hmm.
turns.
Yeah.
Sharing. Just because you're an adult doesn't mean that
Hmm.
you can't
And
share it with
you're
you.
helping them because when they go out into school, to the park, it's a culture shock. Like, it's a shock. Like, what do you mean that I have to share with someone else? This doesn't happen,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. I've worked in so many classrooms that you can always tell.
Yeah.
Like, one, the kids who have never been around other kids. Usually that's either one because they were an only child, or two, they were never involved in any extracurricular activities
Or like
like,
the park, like, yeah,
yeah, and going to, not necessarily because they weren't in pre-K,
right.
but because they weren't in stuff like gymnastics or like going to the park or like doing
Hmm.
anything. They were just around adults who gave them,
Hmm.
everything. You can always spot those kids.
Hmm. You know what I try to do too when we're out, like at a restaurant, like have my kids order their food and like say,
That is
please and
such a great
thank you.
skill.
Yeah.
I used to tell that
It's
to
in
my,
Spanish right now, but everyone here speaks Spanish anyways.
yeah.
But
Does
um,
everyone really speak Spanish in your area?
yeah, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Brazilians. So there's a lot of Portuguese, which is like Spanish.
Yeah, it's Spanish.
Muito obrigado. I know some.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I think it's thank you. Um,
Uh-huh.
but no, yeah. Just speaking up to others, like novel adults, is hard. Like, I mean, look at
Mhm.
me. Sometimes it's hard for me. Today I had to complain to a man. I didn't have to complain to a manager at Publix, but I needed to because
Never done that. I've
you've
never
never done
complained.
that.
I've never complained anywhere.
What?
Never had a, if my or I have gotten the wrong food. I one time ordered
Yeah.
like something completely different. Like completely different. I think it was Flanagan's. I went with like a group of people after there was a soccer game. And I wanted to go to Flanagan's for this specific food. My food was the last to get there. Not only was it last to get there, it was the
Um,
wrong fucking plate. Did I
no
say
fucking
anything?
way.
No. Did I like the food? No. I didn't even eat it. And Sebas was pissed. He's like, I'm gonna say something that's not fair. Like, then we have to pay for this, and you didn't even eat it. It's not even what you freaking ordered. It was like it was one of his games that finished like at 11 p.m. Like we weren't. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here
That
and
doesn't mean anything.
no, 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 no. I was like, don't say anything, because then
I would have been
whatever food
like,
I'm
don't
gonna
even.
get, I'm gonna assume that they spit in it, and I'm not gonna want to eat it.
No, but no, that's
Uh,
absolutely not a thing.
yeah, no,
I would
I
have
just
taken your
be
plate
quiet.
and just taken it to the lady like, oh, look, I'm so sorry, but like either like we can do it right or like we're not gonna do it at all. So just like exit dock from the tab. I didn't eat
Yeah.
it.
Mhm. No, and I was pretending to like
You were
eat it. And
pretending
I
to.
didn't even say, wait, listen. I didn't even say that when I got there to the table because one I was with Sebas. I was also with Steve who speaks up and is like, "Oh, I'm gonna fucking say something."
Steve is
So
my cousin, so we're just built from the
yeah,
same cloth.
yeah. So I was like, "No, I don't want like them to like say anything. So I'm just gonna like not say anything. Hopefully nobody heard what I wanted to order or what I ordered. So I'm just gonna like whatever." So I tried and I'm kind of picky, but I will try something. So
No,
I
you're
was
a
like,
trier.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
explore.
Yeah.
Huh.
So whatever, I was like eating it and it got to a point where I was like, bro, this shit's so bad. Like it just felt nasty.
What was it?
And then I don't even remember. It was like some type of chicken. I don't even know. Something I've never even seen on the Flanagan's menu.
The chicken nuggets are fire. The chicken
No,
stickers.
it's not the chicken nuggets. It was like a grilled chicken,
Oh hell no.
like pasta. Or I don't even know. It was something weird. This was like years ago.
Oh my god.
And then Steve was like, "That's not what you ordered." And I was like, "Oh, great." And
Here
then Sam
you
was like,
go.
"Oh, I'm gonna say something." And I was like, "No." And he's like, so then Steve was like, "No, I'll say that." And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
This is so embarrassing."
Yeah, no, no, no. I just did that today. I didn't like how she threw me my sandwich. And so I spoke up.
Oh my God. Oh, never.
Bro, there's no way I asked for it. I was getting a sandwich and she stops. All you have to do is cut it and put it in the bag. Instead of doing that, she's like going to assist someone else. So then I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. I'm like, I'm here with two children. Like the chicken tenders are going. They're flying off the racks right now. And if you know Publix, you know those chicken tenders go. Like, have you said it
Mm-hmm.
happened to you at your Publix?
No.
If well, I don't know if you go around the deli much, but the chicken tenders, they're a hot commodity.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's always some some baking and then some like people are just like in line like waiting and it's after school hours, so you know all those kids are fiending for the
Oh, I
nuggets
never
for
go
the
around
for the
that time.
tenders. Well, yeah, I came at a wrong time, but anyway,
Mhm.
I just told the manager, I was like, hey, are you a manager? Which I know because my mom is a manager, and so I also feel like territorial over public sometimes because I'm like, my mommy works here, like this is not how it
Ah,
should be.
do you go to the Publix that she works at?
Sometimes, but not right now.
Okay.
I not this
Is
time.
it a little bit farther?
Yeah, it's a little far and it's kind of close to Disney, and then I just like I hop
Oh,
skip over to the
yeah.
parks, and I'm like, you see, why did I do this? But
Yeah.
no, this time I didn't. It was the one like my neighborhood one,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to tell the manager like, listen, this is not it, and so like we can do so much better. She's like, we. I'm like, yeah, I work here.
Basically,
My mommy
by
works
default.
here. She, my career manager, you know. But no, I didn't say that. But yeah, it was a little uncomfortable. But I said it. I said it nicely. And that's all I can do. Just say things nicely. I will say things
So you
meanly.
complained that she took long to wrap it up.
I complained that she took really long to even greet me. I was just there. There was no one in line, and there were just there was a million people in there, and I was just there like waiting Do you know what that is? Like, my kids are hungry. Like, I gotta go. I don't got time. Like, there's no one here. I timed it
Bro,
perfectly.
I would have called Zelos to complain about this story on the way home.
No, I didn't even tell David because I already got it out of my system with the manager.
Oh
So
my, I would never. Like, that is, I would
I
think,
told her
oh, I'm just gonna waste more.
I was already waiting for the
Hello?
nuggets. Oh, you're good. I was already waiting for the tenders. So I was like, what am I gonna do with my time here? Oh, the perfect time. The manager came up to me. She came up to me. How are you doing? Actually, let me tell you how I'm doing. I had a not so fun experience at the deli
Oh my God, I would
because I was like, I forgot her
Bro,
name.
like, that gives me anxiety.
It gave me anxiety, but I still followed through because I know I would be upset because I wouldn't do that to someone. And I worked retail. I've done it. And I
Damn,
was the best cashier Toys R Us has ever seen.
damn. I never worked retail. Shout out to everyone who worked. I hear horror.
Retail, restaurants, servers, bussers. Oh my god. That's the
I've only
hardest
had two
job
jobs.
ever. You've only had two jobs?
Yeah, Johnny Smith, the
Uh
school.
huh.
Shout out Johnny Smith.
HIPAA? No, that's not HIPAA.
This is a public school. I worked in a school, an elementary school, and then I became an RBT.
That's
And then
crazy.
I worked in ABA, and then I never left. I never
But
worked
you
in
no, but
a
you've had
school.
multiple ABA jobs.
Yeah, but it's not like I worked in different fields.
No,
I've
but
had
still, that's multiple ABA jobs. How many
two,
W4s have you gotten?
actually three. One of them I was there for a month,
Oh,
less
it's
than a month.
shady.
Like, it was so fucking
You
shady.
know what? We've never talked about how shady that place was.
Yeah, I worked at a company.
Didn't you have to mop and shit?
Beep. I want to fucking say their name. I don't know. Should I?
Yeah, who
What
gives a
name?
fuck? You don't sign no NDA.
We know a girl who used to work there with me, and she is the one who pulled me aside because this company that I was working for in South Florida wasn't paying their employees.
Oh my
And
god.
when they were paying their employees, they were like, "What's your Zelle?" And she would Zelle me from her account, from the
Bro,
boss's account, days late. At that point, I already had a mortgage. Like, and I was
yeah.
helping contribute to the mortgage. So I could not,
Absolutely.
yeah, I could not afford to like
Get a
not get
cell.
paid. Like, no, not get paid.
And
Like,
also, you were evading taxes at that point because I'm pretty sure they didn't
they
calculate
were doing
taxes.
EVV, and I had come from a company who was very ethical by every fucking guideline, like just to the T, like the ethics gods, right? Then I came here and I was like, why don't you guys use EVV? Like, why don't you guys
They're
do
like,
the
what's EVV?
session
A
notes?
new car? Is electric car?
Yeah, yeah. Like, where's the session notes? Because it was like through that whole like during that big scandal of like the Medicaid fraud and all that stuff. So they were just starting to use the trackers on our phones, and like the teachers were having to sign on the app and all of that stuff. This company wasn't doing that. And they said that when we were to do our session notes, to put the address, even if we were at a school, as if it was their PO box. It was some shady, shady thing.
What?
And then they would have us after session. Let's say our session was from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., right? After that, they would make sure that every kid had that. We would have to stay and be assigned a chore for that day, for the day. So either you had to mop, you had to vacuum, you had to sanitize toys, clean the bathroom. There was a bunch of shit that I was like, what the
Off
fuck?
the
Like,
clock. Off
off
the
the
clock.
clock. And they were saying, oh, if we don't do that, then who's going to do that? I don't know. You hire a cleaning service. That's not my job. I don't own this company. And on when I signed the papers that I was going to work here, I never signed off that I was also going to be considered a cleaning employee. I'm sorry. No, my job is to provide services to children,
That is
not to clean.
crazy.
And I wrote all of this in my exit. Like,
And you wrote it, not chat.
no, chat didn't exist at the time.
Dude, this was
Bro,
all
I went
brain.
off. I listed everything as to why. Guess what this boss did? She submitted my resignation letter into a group chat saying, can you guys believe this? Karina said my name, didn't blur anything out. Karina has the audacity to call us an unethical ABA practice, saying that I like don't use, of course we use EBV, we just do it ourselves on the back end. What do you mean? How do you have access to them? Like, you can't.
You can't. It
Like,
has to be
you
in the
literally cannot.
moment.
Yeah, and it has to be on the RBT's phone.
GPS. Uh-huh.
Yeah, literally. So, and saying that, oh, we're in COVID times, so of course I'm gonna have you guys clean up after yourselves. Of course, I will. Like, if you guys provide me with sanitizing wipes, I will clean, after I'm done with my session, while I'm still on the clock. But I'm not mopping and not
Mhm.
getting paid. And also, you're paying. And she was like, we only paid you once, only once late. And I'm like, yeah, because I've only had two paychecks because I've been here for less than 30 days. Of course.
Only once late is
only
crazy.
only
Only
once late.
once. We only
So
paid you late
there
once.
was another RBT guy. His name was like Robert or something. I don't know
Okay,
what.
blur that. We'll blur that.
Whatever. He doesn't fucking know. Actually, I'm pretty sure I got his name wrong. But he was
We just
I
made
was
that name
like, because this girl that we know,
up.
um, she pulled me aside because one time I heard them talking, oh, did you get paid? Did you get paid? And then I came from this
That's
company that was like super by the books, and I was like,
like,
why
what do
why
you
are you guys
mean?
what are you guys talking about if you got paid or not? Do you guys have another job? Like I was
Yeah.
curious.
You
Like,
guys do Uber or something? Like, what's
yeah.
happening?
And they were like, no, like, did whatever this girl, the boss, I forgot her name, did this girl pay you? And I'm like, oh, I would assume it's like a direct deposit. Like that's what I submitted all the forms for a direct deposit. Oh no, she does Zelle, and sometimes she's late.
Oh,
And then this robber, whatever the fuck his name is, was like, "Oh no, I haven't gotten paid in 3 months."
what?
I'm like, at that point, I was like,
Robert,
"What are you
get the
doing to me,
fuck out of
Robert?
here.
Get out, buddy. This is your time. Run. I'll cover your kid.
You're
I'll
like,
stay
what are
after
you
for you."
doing, Robert?
But his sister was a BCBA there, and I'm pretty sure like they were that sister and the boss were doing some sketchy shit together.
Oh my god.
And I was like, that's crazy. So then that girl that we know pulled me aside because she heard me say, Robert, like, I don't know about you, but I don't live with my parents. Like, I got a mortgage, I gotta pay bills. Like, I can't afford to just like not get paid for
I'm not you,
once.
Robert, okay? Like, I'm not so
Yeah.
chill, Robert.
So then that girl heard me and she was like, hey, like I heard that you have a mortgage and like you actually like really because like a lot of like RBTs are pretty young. So like everyone is like either still living with their
Yeah.
parents or like was that
Which
time.
is not even an excuse because, like, you go to work you to get paid, no matter like
A
what
hundred percent, a
situation
hundred
you're
percent.
in, right?
So then she was like basically like, oh, I guess it's like the big girl of the group. So let me like warn her. So she told me, she's like, yeah, sometimes we don't get paid. She does like ends us paying us back. But if you are needing a consistent paycheck, this is maybe not the company for you. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for being so fucking honest. That day I went home, no chat GPT.
Just pure neurons, baby.
This lady also had the audacity to then tell me that she was going to sue me. Remember? Do you remember
Yes,
this?
yes, 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 yes. I remember the swing.
So after she put that into the group chat of me, can you believe Karina this and that, blah, 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 I was like, oh, hell no. So I called my mom and my stepdad and I was like,
But
can
why
you
did she say she was gonna
believe
sue you again?
what?
Why did she say she was gonna sue you?
Because so then I responded to her privately.
Oh,
Instead of responding in the group chat, I
yeah.
said, hey, I think that they helped me like draft a response saying, I
Um,
think that was very unprofessional. I tried to leave things on good terms. I was just told from HR to explain the reason for me leaving. And I was honest in my resignation letter. You
mm,
didn't like it. That's unfortunate for you, mama. Like be ethical and I wouldn't have had to resign.
yeah.
So so then I was like, I can explain. And she was like, oh, we can have a meeting on Monday to so you can. And I was like, I don't think that we need to have the meeting. I already had my exit interview with HR and I told you exactly why. There's no need for you because I thought she was going to try to persuade me to not go after her for being like calling her out for doing all these unethical, illegal things.
Right.
So I was like, there's no need. But I never said that I wasn't going to continue working. So she was like, actually, let's make today your last day and you don't have to come in anymore. Right. I never went back after that.
Mm,
After she got my letter, she submitted to group chat, all that back and forth. The next day, I didn't show up to work. Why? Because the owner herself told me not to show my face. Literally, don't show your face. I have actually a whole file on this laptop here of all the conversations and
of the
screenshots
receipts. Oh my
because I
god.
also had access to their central reach for months later with access to all client information, which is all against HIPAA, their addresses, their home phone numbers, their pediatricians, like access to everything, all their program, access to edit everything to Central Reach. And I would take a screenshot on my computer showing the day so that they could see how many days after I was like, I
Active on there.
whatever. So then she wanted to come after me legally, saying that I abandoned or was going to report me and also sue me for abandoning a client with no notice, despite me having the screenshots of her telling me not to show up the very next day
Yeah.
or ever again. So I was like, the fuck? And she still hadn't paid me for that
And
last.
she doesn't know who she's like fucking with.
Yeah, she
Like,
doesn't know.
she
At this
doesn't.
point, she was fucking with George, my stepdad, who was responding every single time. It wasn't
Yeah.
me anymore.
Yeah.
He was, and he's using all the big words. Like
And
he's
you're
taking
there.
out his fucking
This is
resume
you, and you have like
like,
an army of people behind you.
yeah.
Like,
Like, So I was like, let's go, bitch. My mom's
go, go,
coworker,
go.
my mom's coworker's
Uh-huh.
husband is a lawyer for like companies, and I don't even know the correct term. So he was like, let her come after you. Let her. You're gonna continue to take screenshots. You're gonna continue to show how she's continuing to be unethical and doing these things, and we'll fucking fight it. So she kept sending me like threat.
No, what?
Yeah.
Psycho.
And then he drafted no chat GPT, just fucking clutch.
He's a
Like
lawyer.
some sick ass letter. Like if you reach out to my, because this time I actually had a lawyer send it to,
No, uh-huh.
which scared her. And then she never reached out to me again.
Bro, what a
And then she was
crazy.
gonna charge me like $300 per the contract of abandoning a client. I was like, you told me not to go. But they kept telling me like don't respond to her, like don't answer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you're like, I just wanna
I don't know, every time
let
she
me
was
loose.
I'm like,
That's crazy.
anyway, this shit was crazy.
That yeah. I don't think I've ever had like a really unethical experience like that. Like I've like to the point of a lawyer kind of like
Mm-hmm.
trying to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, I've seen some shit too, like with the EVV, like, oh yeah, I'm going to Winn-Dixie, but just keep my phone here. And
I know I've seen
oh,
that
yeah,
at schools before. It's
it's
horrible.
crazy. When the EVV
Horrible.
started, all the
Yeah.
little
I
RBTs.
all the Cuban ladies in one daycare that I used to work at in Sweetwater would drop their phone off at the daycare and then go do their vueltas or whatever they had to do.
Bro, that's
They're like, I'm
crazy.
gonna go do a little vueltica, I'll be back.
Ya
I'm like,
vengo, traigo croqueta.
yeah, I'm like, what?
Bro, it's bad. It's so bad. And I wonder if that's like still how it is.
Probably.
Bro, it's so bad.
I know. That's why it's hard to like tell parents, or like to like have them build trust with the provider, especially if they've come from something that has been like that.
Which is
Kind of
for the
mine
most part like what you see, especially like
in South Florida, especially. I'm sure it's
just
everywhere,
Florida in
but
general is so bad with. So you feel like at least us, it's like you feel like damn, I advocate so much for like trust me, like we're super good, like we're not gonna
yeah, but
like but
they're like,
then that's
really? I
like
just came from this who told me the same thing and
yeah.
did
And
X,
so
Y,
it's like
Z.
ABA fucking sucks and that's fucking valid. Like I believe it. That ABA did fucking suck. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so sorry like that your
Yeah.
child and like just crazy shit like that people do. We recently had Ann on here talking about what happened with an
Mm-hmm.
RBT 2025 on
Literally.
video, like, and
It's
so
horrible.
that's how are you gonna tell a parent like, but ABA is so affirming and so like compassionate, and then it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't my ABA, and so I wonder too, like I've always said this too, like you know how SLPs they provide service, PTs they provide service, ABA is the only kind of like therapeutic intervention field where there is the
So much
BCBA.
negativity.
Well, there's the BCBA and then there's a second entity providing the service. You know what I mean? You don't see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of BCBAs providing direct services, direct
Mm-hmm.
therapy. There's an RBT. And so SLPs provide direct therapy.
Mm-hmm.
PTs the same, OTs the same. And so that's why this field has such like a question mark sometimes, because it's like, what do you mean it's not the BCBA doing it or doing the
Mm-hmm.
therapy when to become an RBT, it's become so simple and kind of like easy,
Mhm.
right? Obviously,
Mhm.
there are things that are happening that are like PDUs and things like that
Mhm.
are great advancements and making it harder to stay an RBT and to become one, but I still don't think that's enough. Like
Mhm.
there are people that are just looking at it for a paycheck, and so like I would not be in this. I didn't want to. I didn't become an RBT just to like get a paycheck. I just did it because I
Mhm.
wanted to stay in the field. But that's
Mhm.
not, and you too. Like that's not
Mhm.
how most
Mhm.
of people think, and so it sucks
Mhm.
that you get this little life, right? You get a kid, and it's like, I'm in your home, and you just gotta trust me, but like, I'm studying architecture, and like, I don't give a fuck. It's like a
Mhm.
good paycheck. So
Mhm.
it just sucks that that this is the system that it's like how it's like, and there's like a
Mhm.
second person, and so there are good RBTs. There are
Mhm.
also bad BCBAs. It's just
Mhm.
so variable, and there are also bad SLPs, but it's just interesting how the therapy intervention it lines up considering like with different people and stuff like that when
Mhm.
that's not really common or not common, but it's the only field that has that.
Well, they do have like the SOPAs, I think,
A's.
and the PTA because like now I'm noticing it now like with my son when I went through the they told me over the phone, oh yeah, he's gonna be working with this person. So I looked her up on their website and she is
And her also Facebook and like her Instagram.
and like everything, her home address. Like I did a Zillow home
we did
tour of her
like
home.
we did like a yeah, a background
Yeah,
check.
I know everything. I know her last vacation. I know her upcoming vacations.
She just got
But anyway,
married.
she's a PTA.
Okay.
So I was in my head, I was like, but why isn't he gonna get a PT?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes.
You should question that. But you see,
What if
even
I like
like
her more? What if I like her more?
true, but that's still a valid question. Like imagine parents on other parents that are like, wait, what do you mean the BCBA is not gonna? I'm gonna talk to them the most, but or like they're gonna
Not
do the
even though.
assessment. That's how it should be though, which is insane.
We'll talk to them like actually have like a conversation. I mean, they said the RBT sees them the most,
Right,
but they
but
shouldn't really have that type of communication.
right.
Hmm.
And so you're just an amazing person that your people just are drawn to you. You know what I mean? But that's also like you're caring for the field. Like, but there's people on the other end too that are just like, oh, let's just
Hmm.
talk shit. Like, not for the child. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
as an RBT, like I was in there. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but with good intentions. But there are people that aren't, and so ethically, supposedly, you're not supposed to be very
You're
that
not supposed
dynamic
to
shouldn't
provide like any
even
type
like
of.
texting the RBT, a parent texting an RBT
Mhm.
is seen like shouldn't be.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? What's the need?
Which it's like so it's so I don't know.
Yeah, so many questions.
It's very tricky.
I know.
Um
But well, this was great. I feel like
no, we'll just end it right there.
if you made it this far, wow, that's fucking crazy. It's probably my mom. Hey, mom.